Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about a vacuum filler pen by PenBBS, and it's the PenBBS 456. It's a fairly well-known pen by PenBBS, and PenBBS makes many different fountain pens that are all very nice. They make very, very pretty finishes. This one is just a simple clear one, but there is something special about it, and that is that it is a vac filler. So it's a vacuum filler. And I'm very interested in seeing all the cheap vacuum fillers by these Chinese companies that have been coming out. I also grabbed a different pen. I grabbed the Wingsung 699 to like compare them a little bit because they're in a similar price point. Of course, this is more of a copy, and this is a fairly original type model, which I like. And I want to talk to you about the PenBBS nibs. So I have a few PenBBS pens. I haven't made a video about them before, but I do like them. I just haven't been using them overly much, and I guess I'm gonna change that now by inking this. Because if you ink a vac filler, you have to be prepared to use it for a while. Anyway, I grabbed some ink. I have the pen, I have some paper, and I'm gonna show you how to ink it. I'm gonna show you writing sample. Yeah, so let's switch the shot. All right, here we are with a close-up shot of, well, two pens and an ink bottle. But the star of the show is this pen. And right away, I want to address something that I do not like about vac fillers, and that is the fact that I find them really hard to clean. And this one is not very clean. I mean, in general, I'm a lazy cleaner. My cleaning method is good enough, but I do like to keep my clear pens quite clean, and this pen is obviously a failure. It did not stay very clean. Sometimes I think the vac system is clean, and then it dries out, and then it doesn't show up clean at all. This is the 699 by Wingsung. There's also little spots there. And I'm also one of those people who uses hard to clean inks in vacs. I love hard to clean inks in general, so my cleaning method isn't the greatest in this respect. I might have to switch over to, you know, easier to clean inks, non-sheening inks. I did grab an easier to clean ink, Pelikan Edelstein Topaz, to ink this one up with, but let's just take a close-up look at all the component parts first. Okay, the PenBBS 456 with the sword clip that I really like. PenBBS puts this on most of their pens, and in my opinion looks kind of like a sword, which I really like. This pen is a flat top pen, so it's not cigar shaped. It has flat ends, and it makes it kind of reminiscent of maybe a Conid. However, I really think this is kind of an original design by PenBBS. It has the vacuum knob here to operate it. It's kind of tapered, which looks really funky to me. And then has the cap band, which says Shanghai PenBBS. And then the number 456. And as you can see the nib through the cap, which is a really nice detail. As you can see, this clip seems to be screwed in, so you might be able to unscrew this top knob and take off the clip. I've done that with Wingsung pens. It's not really something I would do with this pen because this clip is so cool. Yeah, it's a functioning clip. It's nothing special, but it's pretty good. And as you can see, the barrel is still dirty. This nib is a fine nib. It's a two-tone nib. And the PenBBS pens tend to have feud-like nibs. I don't think my camera is good enough to show you what that looks like, but the nib is slightly upturned at the end. So the tipping is a little upturned. I don't think you can see it, but it's there, and that gives you a different writing experience than with a regular nib. So it writes different at different angles, which is, I think, very nice. I think this is a number 6 nib. I don't know if it can be replaced. Let's see how it compares to the Wing Sung, which is a number 6 nib. Yeah, that looks like similar size. Wonder if you can switch these out. No idea. Anyway, so flat top design. And then if you want to operate the piston, you unscrew this, you just pull it back, put the nib in the ink, and then you push it. Gives it a little bit of resistance, but that's how you build up the vacuum to suck in the ink. It's a very smooth mechanism. It works very, very well. Screwed back in, that chamber here gets sealed off. So if you're flying and you want to seal off this big ink chamber, you close it all the way. If you write with it and it turns out to be a little dry, you unscrew the back to make sure that the ink flows freely. So if I screw it back up, you see that it closes off there, right here. And then if I unscrew it, you see that it pulls back. So yeah. Compared to the 699, it's fairly similar in size. It's a little smaller. It's a little smaller. And the biggest difference is that the Wing Sung 699 is a cigar shape. So it looks a little more traditional. Of course, this was definitely modeled after the A23. And this one was not modeled after a pen like that. So, of course, they're both clear. They're both vac fillers. Let's see which vac system is smoother. Doesn't really matter. But this one has that chamber that you can lock off. And this one does not have that. So let's go ink it up and do a writing sample, because I've blabbed enough. So Pelikan Edelstein Topaz, not an ink I've used very often, as you can see. Looks very blue like that. I have no idea. I don't remember if this nib is dry or wet or any idea. But Pelikan inks tend to be a little on the dry side, in my opinion. And that makes sense if you think about their pens. Their pens are always on the super wet side. And I think they like make their ink a little dry to compensate for that. I am not, this is just a theory, of course. Okay, unscrewed it, pulled back the rod, dip nib fully into ink, push, and you can see it doesn't go for full fill right away. And this is a trick I used to do on the H23, and I don't know if it works here, but I'm gonna try it. So push until you don't have any air left in the barrel and squirt ink everywhere, and then push it back in to get a full fill. Look at that barrel full of ink. It was a little messy, but I don't mind getting some ink on my writing pad, so and also ink on my finger, but that's the life of a fountain pen person. So if you want to get a full fill, do that carefully. Look at that blue, very nice. Dry it off, clean it up a little bit. I don't mind inky fingers, but I don't have to have overly inky fingers. Okay, let's see how this, okay, so I put ink in the little reservoir there right now. Wonder, oh, it doesn't really stay in, so it is just to lock off this section, I guess. There's ink right there. Can I get that ink out? Sorry guys, I'm just looking at this with an, like, experimenter's eye a little bit. Oh yeah, look. So the ink in this chamber just left the premises basically. And if you push it down, it should fill back up again. And you can close it if you want. Oh, this is a bad idea. Yeah, bad idea. I opened it too far. So vacuum fillers, you have to unscrew the back, but please don't open it as far as I did, because then you can get an ink explosion. Let's see, I'm gonna write like this. Okay, enough messing about. Let's zoom in a little bit. PenBBS. So this is a fine nib. It's a 456. Yeah, this ink is definitely dry. So if you upturn this nib, it doesn't write as well as when you write at a lower angle. So the low angle is really nice, but this is a little drier. Wonder how it reverse writes. Oh, that is super fine, and not in a good way. Let's talk about the nib. This is a fine nib, feud-ish. Not really feud. I feel like this ink hates this paper. It's a fairly smooth writer. It feels a little different than other nibs that I've used. But I do wonder how it feels on different paper. So this is Rhodia paper. And I've talked about not liking Rhodia paper very much. That's why I'm using this pad for my videos. This is Leuchtturm. This is in the back of the notebook. This is a notebook I use for work. Oh yeah, that's much better. So I have a few pens that really hate Rhodia, and this seems to hate Rhodia too, because the ink flow and the feel is so different right here. So if you ever have a pen that doesn't work for some reason, try it on a different paper and you might see a big difference, because this does not feel the same at all. I don't know if we can show the difference here. Of course, it's a different quality paper. You can't put them on top of each other. Okay, let's take this out of the pad. See, let's fold it a little bit to see how it compares. Okay. So this nib seems to like less coated paper more. And you can see that this paper sucks up the ink a little bit more than the Rhodia. So it shades more on here than on here, but the nib feel on the Leuchtturm paper is much, much better. So I would say if you have a pen that doesn't work on some kind of papers, try a different paper. Alright, I have rambled long enough. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed me fiddling with this silly pen and me being weird about it. I had a ball doing it, and I love that I could test it on different paper and like it more. I'll leave in the description a note about how it behaves on Tomoe River, because my journal is Tomoe River and I think that should be fine. Hope you enjoyed, guys. I'll see you later. Bye bye.